here, which is orders. Never underestimate the power of a pawn. That's a relation to...
This is funny what you folks are saying all the time.
To a chess pawn there, yeah.
Right, this is a chess piece, and then they obviously have people in the community who are into this, who are black, white, brown. So it's made the pawn multicolor, so that's pretty cool. And then either is that the pawn on 7th row going to turn into a king or queen, whatever he wishes to be, or is he protecting the queen?
Just hold it round a bit to the camera. There we are.
Okay.
So we got a checkered pawn, which is representing everybody in society. Is that right?
Absolutely.
So the lowly piece on the chessboard.
Basically, when you play chess with me, and if anybody ever hears this, I will always beat you with the pawn. I will let every other piece on the board fall before the pawn, because I love beating you with a pawn. It is so much fun, because it feels so good that you beat them with the pawn. But what I said is, everybody, I've realized these freemen people all have fee schedules. So it's like, oh, good, I don't have to teach you folks fee schedules. Good. Now there's something called an invoice. When somebody gives you an order...
So this is, we bring that one back up, Mike, if you will. Thank you.
Yeah, so when somebody's giving you an order, they're giving it to you in voice. Just like if you went to a waitress at a restaurant, she'd just say, okay, you want to order what? Eggs, bacon, da-da-da, sausage, da-da-da. And she'd be putting down how much you owe, da-da-da-da-da. So some man in Texas, Jimmy Lynn, he actually tested this out. He got stopped by a Texas Ranger. And he said to the Texas Ranger, whenever a Texas Ranger pulled him over, he said, driver's license registration. And Jimmy said, is that an order? The Ranger said, absolutely. He gave him his driver's license. The Ranger said, get out of your vehicle. He says, is that an order? He said, absolutely. He got out of his vehicle. He said, step to the back of the van. Is that an order? Absolutely. Then he said, put your hands on my vehicle because I'm going to search your vehicle now. He said, is that an order? He says, absolutely. He said, he just started laughing. And the officer said, what's so funny? He says, I'm so jacked up on Karl. Listen to Karl. He said, Karl who? He's like, some guy does a law show. He said, but this is exactly what he said you were going to do. You're just carrying out your duty. You're just following orders. It's nothing personal with you and me, Mr. Officer, is it? He's like, no, I'm just doing my job. He said, that's right. You're just carrying out orders. And you were ordered to get into the squad car by the shift commander, and the shift commander was ordered to put you in that car by the sergeant. The sergeant got his orders from the captain, who got the orders from the commissioner. Yeah. So everybody's just following orders. Have I not followed all your orders to date? I'm like, yes, good. So when you're done giving me orders, I'm going to demand fair and just compensation. What? He says, because when you fill out your invoice at the end of the week, for all hours you put in, and you carried out your orders, aren't you going to demand fair and just compensation for carrying out orders all week? And he said, the officer just looked at him and says, get out of here, you're making me nervous. And Jimmy left. I said, no, Jimmy, you should have said, is that an order for me to get out of here for fair and just? He said, he said, I missed that. The cop would have just dropped it and said, please, sir, leave me alone. So like I said, the officers realized that they all know they're just carrying out orders. They say, oh, no, just your orders, just carrying out orders, nothing personal. So when somebody says to you, give me your name, because the only thing you have in this world is your good word and your name. So when you give something so freely, like say a woman who just gives her body away freely, you don't have much value of your name or your word. No, it's very valuable. Don't just give it away. Make the person taking it from you earn it. So when I say, well, give me your name, well, firstly, give me yours. You want fair and just compensation. If I give me yours, give me mine. I'll be more than glad to. And I would say to people, never use the word no. No is a word of controversy. If you talk to any attorney, attorneys will tell you, look, 99% of what we do is we negotiate settlements. That's all we do. Like some lawyers in Virginia said to my sister, what your brother does as a performer on stage, he goes into open court, and not only does he know the law and know how to negotiate settlements, but he knows actually to get up there and perform. Yeah. So we don't know how to perform. We're great negotiators. That's what we're taught at law school. We're not taught how to be a trial attorney, how to go up there and tap dance and win a jury over, like American Idol or British Got Talent. We don't know how to do that. It's a special skill that your brother has. Okay, we got 2 minutes. So one of the things is that you included this slide. I put that in. What's the significance of this? That's to settle the matters on a private side with whoever you believes owes you a debt, because you're not going to want to bring it into an open court and never have the judge decide, because neither one of you might like what the judge is going to do to you, with bringing a controversy into the public. And this one is just a little snippet I have from Tomlin's Law Dictionary from 1835, and I was explaining to you earlier. If it was once in law and it's not been outlawed, it's still good law. It's still true law. So all that basically is saying is what a court of record is, that the King's Bench is a court of record. And all court of record meant was, is it worth, because paper and pen was expensive back then, is it worth writing down the proceedings of the court? Should we make this a court of record? Was it worth more than 20 shillings? And they would actually keep a record of it. If it's not worth writing it down on paper and pen, it's called a not of record. That's all it is. That's all called not of record, not of it. But a court of record, if you look at a court of record only moves under common law. Only. So court of record. So King's Bench, Queen's Bench is a court of record. And it only moves under the common law, not statutes.
Okay.
So the big thing at the last slide you saw, it says all access to the Queen's Bench or King's Bench is free to the people. So if they try to give you a filing fee, it's the blue one.
This one?
Yeah, it's written in blue. The free use of all courts of...
Sorry, that one you're looking at, eh?
No, this one right here. The
free use. Yeah.
The free use of all courts of record is to be granted to the people. That's how I got in the door the other day when it was closed after hours.
Right.
This is the court of record, right? Yes.
Okay.
Do I have free access to it? Open that door.
Carl, we got to the end of the time that we can give. It's been fascinating. Obviously, unfortunately, you were feeling a bit poorly last night, but I had the opportunity to talk to Bali and his brother, which was fantastic.
Was it fun?
It was great. It was great fun. This has been phenomenal because we've seen the full spectrum. We've seen free men come unstuck. We've seen some of the things starting to work. We know people are learning. Can we say to you, we'd like to do some more with you, which we'll have to probably do Skype.
Yeah, I just wanted to meet you first. See, if anybody wants to meet me and talk to me, it's hard to trust people over the telephone.
Yeah.
So you want to, test the mettle of the man. You want to see if he's for real and genuine. And you definitely seem real and genuine to me. So that's why I have to meet people first before I'll engage with them. I won't do it any other way. That's why I'm here in England. Why I wouldn't just help them on the phone.
Well, we will definitely do some more on Skype. That's and fine. We're also going to introduce some of the things that Roger Hayes and Guy Taylor you met.
Yeah, he's crazy. I like him. Okay,
so there we are. We're starting to take the lid off what the courts are about. We'll just give you Carl's contact details here. So broadmind.org is the one you want to go to, which is the US site. And then you've got ukcommonlaw.co.uk, which is the new UK website. And you've got an email. So freeze the slide if you want to get those details off.
Yeah. And the other email, the new email site is going to be uncommonlaw@gmail.com. So we made a new one. That's that's the American one, the email one.
Right.
Uncommonlaw@gmail.com is for the UK folks.
Okay. Well, I had a quick look on Google, and it's pretty easy to track you down.
Oh, good.
And now they've seen your face, and they've seen.
Now they got my face.
Now they've got your face, and we know who you are. So I'm going to say thank you very much for coming all this way.
Thank you, Brian.
And the answer is now presenting itself, isn't it? Exposure, which the UK column keeps banging on about. Exposure is 95% of the weapon to deal with these people. There are many good people out there. There are some good politicians, not many. There are many, many good policemen and women, and we now know there are some good judges as well. So we need to support these people and encourage them, not attack them. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.